Hello, everyone. How are you? Can you hear me okay? All right, so we're going to wait for people to join in a little bit, but um, I'm so glad to see everyone on. Hope all is well. Okay. So, all right, so as everyone gets on, I hope everyone is at home, safe, as we are getting ready to prepare for some to kind of get started back at the salon. For those of us who are still at home, that's okay. We are going to make it through. Happy Wednesday. So I guess this is hump day. So today our topic of conversation is going to be all about natural hair. So one of the things that Milvan gets asked often, and some people don't even realize, is that it can be used for any hair type. So it's really, really exciting. And today I have brought someone here that I think really will be able to kind of help talk about it, gives us some tips and tricks to work with hair in its natural texture. And her name is Kailie Joe. And so she will be on very shortly. So I am just going to just check here to just see where she is. And yeah, we'll get going. So I've added her and she'll pop on here in just a second. We'll see what we get.
Hi.
Hi.
How
Hi,
you
honey. I'm good. How are you?
doing? Very good. So good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
How are you holding up?
Good. You look fabulous.
Well, thank you. I try.
You're
You
so
look good as
welcome.
well, Chris.
Oh man, listen, I'm doing all right. Listen, we've been working hard.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday and Friday, we try to make sure that we bring some kind of content onto
Yes,
Instagram so that we can basically just kind of keep people feeling good and
absolutely.
in positive
Absolutely.
spirits, and also be able to share a little bit so people can feel inspired for when they get back into the salon. And so I think
Yes.
we're doing okay. I think we're doing good.
I love it. I love it. Like to be productive on this downtime like this is so to go back saying, okay, I'm going back bigger and better because I learned things on this downtime that you would not normally have had this luxury to have this much downtime. So why not educate yourself? Why not sit here and say, you have nothing but time now?
Yeah, for sure. It's true. I mean, it really is true. And it's only going to make us better, and that's what I love,
Absolutely.
So what I'd
Absolutely.
like to do is I'd like you to tell the people who are
Yes.
here who you are, where you're, like just a little bit about yourself, like a little bit so people kind of know who you are.
Okay. So I have been a stylist for 12 years. I came from the background of a stylist. My mother was also a hairstylist for 30
Mm-hmm.
years, something to 40 years. So it was in my blood, even though I was quite in denial in the beginning. I did other careers prior to this, taking it on full time, and I
Yeah,
will never look back.
I
I
love that.
tell my clients all the time, you are my live Barbie doll, and I get paid to work on live human Barbie dolls, life size
Yeah.
Barbie dolls. Like how blessed am I?
Yes, for sure.
It's a blessing, and I have worked in fields of hair restoration, testing products
Mhm.
for development, education.
Yeah.
Um, with Milbon, I've been an educator with them. So just many fields. Now I'm working TV film. So the avenues are limited in limited in this profession,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
Limited.
a blessing to have a fun job where you really honest to God don't feel like you're working. The hardest day of my job is getting out of my bed.
Hey,
Other than
look, you're
that,
doing something right there. I know that's right.
But other than that, it's a real blessing. And I have, even this year, I was fortunate to the heavens above to go to the Grammys and also go to the Oscars because I had a client. So by the grace of God, like I would have never, like last year, I knew what direction I was going in my career, but just how things could just happen in your life. It's just like, what in the world? Like, is this really my life?
I love it. I mean, listen, there's nothing like, I think, being passionate about what we do, and then being able to implement that in a way that makes sense, in our everyday work. And so this is really, really great. I was saying before you got on that a lot of people have a difficult time learning how to work with natural hair in a way that is, a lot of times helpful. I think sometimes what ends up happening is, a lot of stylists, they walk into a room, and this is any texture, I mean, whether it's, slight wave to the most extremely curly hair, sometimes people go in and they just don't know. They don't have any clue. And so, we wanted to take the opportunity to not only show people that, Milbon product works for anyone. It can work for anyone.
I love the integrity of the line. Like it's the care. I love to, as a hairstylist, I geared more toward saying hair care becomes before anything, And so that's the beautiful thing about Milbon is that you prioritize hair care, even with your chemical. Is it caring for the hair? Is it nurturing the hair? It's not just getting the end result of what someone wants, but your hair is probably more than likely it's going to be better than what it started off with after using the chemical product with Milbon. Like it's just amazing. It's amazing technology, and just an amazing line. And it have my hair just, I just love it. Between the treatments, the prep before styling is crucial, just as crucial as the styling products that you use. I know we was going to touch on like some of the styling products. I mean, some of the hair care, prior to using. Some of my favorite lines are the moisture treatments. Love the anti-frizz. Love because it's infusing hydration in the hair, and where it's actually going, lifting up the cuticle and actually locking itself in the medulla. So it's really a good line where and the anti-smooth is just amazing as well for like kinky curly hair, wavy hair. From if you've got a beachy wave, it just makes it more manageable, more easier to just longer lasting when you do style your hair. If you want to do a blowout or whatnot, and it gives a shield of protection on your hair as well.
Yeah, so I think that's great. I mean, one of the things that you guys, if you're just joining in, this is Kailie. Kailie is here. We're talking about natural hair and Milbon product. And one of the things that she just talked about, which is really, really important, is the prep. And so what we were just kind of talking about briefly is our professional back bar treatments. So the three that she pointed out specifically were anti-frizz, moisture, and smooth. And all of those, they are great treatments that anyone can get at their salon that carries obviously Milbon product, but they're going to be great because they last up to 5 weeks, and they infuse moisture back into the hair. And quite frankly, when you're working with textured hair, a lot of the time that is what it's missing. It lacks moisture. And so the products that she's speaking of specifically are ones that can actually infuse moisture back in at the back bar. So I always say it starts in the salon and then it trickles at home. So obviously there's partnering shampoos and conditioners and all that stuff. But we really wanted to make sure that we kind of just gave you just some 101 tips and tricks just to help you guys along the way if you are concerned about working with highly textured hair in some cases, because sometimes it can be overwhelming. You see all this curly big hair and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna even get there, but you can.
Yes.
And so Kailie is going to help us to just understand a little bit more about how to get there.
Yes.
So,
And especially with salons being closed, like I definitely want to go over a few styling aids that you could do, techniques that you could do at home. Just, you know, you could order like rods, or you could order flexi rods online, have it delivered to you. And because that's what I have been doing, having things delivered to myself. I haven't been out the house at all. Like I just been staying in. I go to my backyard and take my trash out. That about it, you know?
That's good. That's
So
good.
I'm, you know, staying safe at, you know, because we're all in this together and we have to care for one another. So hopefully we can just be mindful of that. I did prep a mannequin that I just want to show 5 different, like heatless styling thing. Like, even what I did to my hair today, I did a rod set last night on my own hair. So this is manipulation of my natural curl, because I'm more like in a 4 family with my curl texture. So by me doing a rod set, it just allows it to just give on a different look. If you don't want to wear, and that's the beauty of it, you have so many different varieties that you get to choose from when you do have your curly hair. It's you know, it's just really nice to have natural textured hair. It's nice to have straight hair because you can get curly textured hair. So
Yeah.
we have, you know, you could get a rod set, you get a straw set. If your hair is bone straight, those little wands. If you want to use heat, make sure you, and if you do go that route, just make sure you use a heat protectant. Heat is not the devil, you know, but it's not protecting your hair prior to that that will cause your hair to have the breakage, the dryness, you know, and whatnot. And that's when you go in a Mill Bond, like a salon that carries Mill Bond products, trying to get a repair treatment. I want to mention that one too, because that repair, I mean, I could speak of all of them, the scalp, the repair, but the repair is magical as well, especially for me because I highlight my hair.
Yes.
Anytime I just, and no breakage at all. It's amazing. Like,
it helps to maintain. I mean, the other thing too that people don't even realize, when you get a Mill Bond treatment, it doesn't just stop at the treatment that you get while you're there. There's actually a take-home packet that you can use once a week to help maintain your treatment for up to 5 weeks. So it's really amazing. It just doesn't stop after you go to the salon and get the treatment. You actually can take it home and be able to implement some things yourself. So it's really good when it comes to that. One of the things too, Kailie, that I heard you mention, and I don't know that some people might know the difference, but you did mention curl pattern, like you know, in a range, right? So you said you were like a number 4. So let's just say with you know, with 1 being the lowest, and you know, up to let's say 10.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So how do you distinguish what your curl pattern is, or your hair type, when it comes to curl?
So it's a lot. I mean, thank God for Google, number 1. So you can go online to kind of determine what your curl pattern is, to see, you know, you wet it, the elasticity of your hair, that kind of lets you know too what spectrum of your curl pattern could be in the 4 range, because you have 4 and you have 4A, 4B, and 4C. So you have 3 different type of 4s.
Yeah.
I'm more in the 4B range, slightly 4A, 4B, but I say for a solid 4B. The more you wear your natural hair, you will be so impressed with it. Almost, and the more moisture you put in it, it almost like takes on a role where you probably was a 4C prior and it felt like more like dry, but the more that you're, you know, playing with your hair, doing styles between, you know, braid outs or twist outs, your hair would take on a more of a softer approach. Not meaning that it's going to change it's still a 4B, but it just has a different take on it, where like, oh, it's cooperating with me more.
Right.
You know,
it might be a little smoother. It might have a little more control to it. Yeah. So, you know, I just think it's important to touch base on these things, because, you know, it's like, you know, people who are not used to like a curl pattern or working with textured hair, you know, they're not really sure. And I'm like, you know what? It's always good to point these little things out.
Yes, I agree.
So yes, all right. So let's get into your mannequin. So let's see what we got going on.
So the prep that I've done prior, and the reason why I prep her prior, and I will also show how it's done, but I wanted to prep her prior just so you could see how each hair, like what curl it creates by doing
Gotcha.
this.
Oh, and just so you guys know too, if you're just joining in, so I actually sent Kailie 2 textured mannequins, so they have curl patterns, and we wanted to make sure that we were showing on a curly mannequin so you guys could really see how you could implement different types of finishes. So these are, in a lot of cases, you know, protective styling that have minimal heat, if any, that really are easy to do at home and can help someone really embrace their natural curl pattern, especially if they have a tighter curl pattern that they need to be able to control or maybe even stretch.
Yes.
Cool.
So she was washed, and I washed her with the anti-frizz shampoo, and I used the conditioner as well.
Okay.
For the anti-frizz connection. I just chose that one because I like the weightlessness of it. It's you know, it's really beautiful. And then when she freshly coming out of the box, I just felt like she needed some you know, TLC hydration.
Yes, she was a little crammed in the box.
Yeah, like day and night she looks. So once I washed her, conditioned her, I then used the curl wave cream, and I cocktailed it with, I don't know if you could see the number 1.
Okay, so she's got waving wave defining cream. Sorry, you guys, and then wave enhancing mousse number 4. So so that's the mousse, and
so I cocktailed.
Okay, cool.
And so when I take out like my twist out, I have an anti-frizz here. And I love this because, like I said, it's weightless. So anytime I'm taking out of a style, I like to use a little bit of, you know, just a little bit, and then just go through it, just so I could maintain the frizz on the hair. And I like to just slowly go through it. And then you see that this is called just manipulating your natural wave pattern. No heat. You can let it air dry, but just go straight through it. And then that's our definition that we get from doing a twist. Now from there,
that's two strand twist?
Yeah, this is a 2-strand.
Got it.
So from there, you just want to even open that up more. And you don't really want to go too hard on it. Like, just take your time, because you don't want to make it frizzy, you know?
Yeah.
But you definitely want to open up, and then you already naturally see that you're getting some body with this.
Gotcha. Now we do have a question that's coming in, and I just wanted to ask you this really quick while it was up on the screen. Do you have any tips for someone who's styling, like when they're growing out from having some type of straightening service, but then their ends are still straight, but then the roots are still curly? Do you have any tips for them? I do. Good. I'm glad that was asked. So we can move on to the Bantu knots. Okay. Because between the Bantu knots and the rod sets, and even the braid out, those to me are ideal for someone who's growing out, because what it's going to do is going to uniform your curl from roots to end. Even if your roots are the natural hair that's growing in and your ends are straight, and you're not ready for the big chop. You know, you just want to let your hair grow more before you actually take that big step. So doing like a Bantu knot will make that more uniform, or even a braid out. So this is the results of a twist out. And you could go in, of course, with a pick, and only at the root you want to like fluff. Like, just pull out at the root, and get rid of the sectioning, you know, and also just to give it some body.
But
So this is actually something really interesting. So, two-strand twist, what's really, really nice about this is obviously, people wear two-strand twist as like a trend, right? Like we wear them with braid, like decorative pieces, right?
yeah,
But if you look at this is something like, think of maybe a client who doesn't have any curl at all. Like
yeah,
maybe this is a way you can implement some wave and texture into their hair. So it's really cool because it's, a lot of this stuff can be universal, once you
absolutely,
really start to play with it and kind of understand what it's doing.
absolutely, absolutely. I guess what we'll go to next is our braid out.
Okay, cool.
So with the braid out, I did put rollers at the end. If your hair is like already, if your hair naturally curls on its own at the end, you really don't have to put the rollers at the end. But I just wanted to show different, ways of actually doing it.
Yeah,
So
totally.
again, before I release it, I always use like some oil because I already have everything else in there that I use. The same product line, I cocktail my two faves, like,
Wave defining and wave enhancing. So
yes.
one's a mousse and one's a cream. So
And
just so you
actually,
guys, okay.
what I didn't mention is once you have it in, your hair is not stiff with
Yeah.
these. And that's the beauty of it. Like, even in my hair that I use it, like my hair is not stiff. Like it's just so touchable and so soft and supple. It's I just love it, love it, love it. I didn't mess my hair up. So
It's so funny because that's one of the big, I think, points of difference about our product line. And it's across the whole line, I think, as well. There's no flaking. There's no building up of anything. So you'll be able to manipulate styles and be able to take it from maybe, let's say, one look to another look without having, difficulty.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. So this is the braid out. And again, I love okay, so if I had to choose on my hair type, the braid out or twist out. The braid out takes half the time to do than the twist out. Okay. Let's say that. You could do like as you see here, I had maybe like 8 to 9 twists. Here I only have 3 braids. Okay. So I don't have to do them as like, and then the definition I get, even using less sections, the definition I get is even more increased with a braid out as well.
Yeah. Now, would you say that, would you use like a bendy rod like on your texture, like if you were doing it, like, or would you let your hair just naturally like coil around your finger or something like that?
Coil around my finger naturally.
Okay. Gotcha.
But for those, the person who asked the question about someone who's transitioning from, a relaxer or stripping service, I would definitely use a rod on the end of the hair.
Okay,
and depending on the texture of your hair, the blue rod probably would be best. Okay. A smaller rod.
Yes.
So to kind of be like, mimicking your hair texture depending on how tight your hair is. But a blue rod probably would definitely be best to do that at the end. So this is the end result of the.
Yeah, one of the other things too I'd like to point out too, a lot of these things I think are things that we learn, it's almost like we learn these things in beauty school, essentially, the fundamental of it, I think we learn, but then we don't really know how to implement it in a realistic way. And these are actually things that you can really that can help you to elevate your services, especially, like I always say, those people out there who really specialize in all different types of curly hair. These are sets, these are cool ways that you can basically help to elevate your service. One of the things too that I'd like to point out is when you're working on curly hair, have you ever had that client where some parts are straighter than other parts? This is a great way to be able to help them figure out ways to balance out their hair in their colors.
That's true. That's so true. And then once again, you want to, definitely go in, pick out only at the root to kind of zhuzh it up to uniform it. But here you get two similar looks.
Yeah.
but slightly different because you see this is more of a wave and this is more of a like a crimp type of look, but it's the definition is definitely more defined here.
Yeah.
I love a braid out, and it's like I said, it's time consuming as well. So you won't feel like, oh, if it was very humid outside, hopefully you won't have a problem because you're using the
Right.
you know, the humidity block so you can get out of your style. But you know, if you're a sweater in your head and for whatever reason you feel like you're doing it a lot, then you know it is different things that you could do to prolong your hair. Like at nighttime, even with my hair like this, I'm gonna show once everything is out what I do at night when I sleep on my hair. Like I don't use like a wrap or nothing. I don't sleep with nothing over my head. That's just not comfortable for me. I know a lot of people do, but for me, that's not what I prefer to do in my head. But
Gotcha.
I'm going to show what I do what I do on my hair that allows, and it works for me. So
yeah,
you know, it's really comfortable as well. So the not fine, we got two more looks. So now we have the rod set.
Okay.
And I didn't have room on her head, but a rod set could be done with rods. And in her hair also, I didn't want to use flexi rod because these are the size that I had, and I feel like it wasn't going to wrap enough, but I could demo a flexi rod when I show how each one of them perform.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, put a little oil from the anti-frizz. It's weightless, literally. It does not weigh your hair down at all. It
smells so good. It smells so good.
It's heavenly. So when you undoing these, you want to make sure you just undo it the same way you wrapped it.
Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense.
So just everything, I mean, allow yourself enough time to take it out. Because especially with a rod set, once you take it out, it's after I take it out, the taking out part is not the hard part. It's when you unravel this look. And you're going to see, like, both of these looks, like, these two are very similar, the twist out, the braid out. And the rod set and a coil is very similar, too, as far as the looks, you know.
Okay.
But it's just a bigger, you know, depending on what size rods you use. And that it all depends on what size. If I would have used blue rods, it would have really looked like this, you know?
Right.
And it's amazing. Like, even when I do a rod set, when I'm on day 3 of my rod set, my natural hair texture, it just reverts back into a coil. Okay. Like how I would look if I was to coil it, you know? Now, some people could finger coil their hair. Like if you're in the 3 family, your hair is capable of finger coil. But if you're 4, you do have to use a comb to kind of really get a good set on a coil. You still could do certain pieces, but it's not going to be as defined, and it won't last as long if you didn't use a comb and like clips that I had to use on her hair because she was kind of like a 4C like texture. Okay. So now when unwinding it, sometimes even if you unwind it the wrong way, it's going to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
go the other way.
Yeah. So you're going to see no matter what. And the thing is, the hair is set. So you're all good as far as like, even if you do wind it the other way. So it want to go, of course, this way.
Yeah.
But if I wind it this way, it's still going to kind of be like, oh, this is the way I'm supposed to go.
Right.
Because it's going to look like, you know, like a janky kind of curl. And you just want to go with the pattern of how you waved it.
Yeah.
Of
so you're breaking apart the curls that you set essentially, right, at this point?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
It's all about the big hair.
Yeah. Oh yes, you know we love a good head of big hair. You know.
Yes.
Great. So while we're kind of watching her kind of unwrap and start to build the volume in her hair, you know, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, you know, like, oh, you know, if this hair type comes in, what do I do? Or, you know, or, oh, I'm scared to work with with curly hair, you know, how should I start? Or, you know, any of those things, you know, feel free to put them in the comments. We'll make sure that we try and get to those questions as well. And then we'll also make sure that if there's anything that we missed, we'll make sure that we circle back around at the end, that's for sure. But you can see the definition in the curls now as she's kind of breaking them up. So it gives them a little bit more of a natural feel rather than them feeling like you just set them, you know, in perm rods, you know.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
you know, there is a method and a technique to making sure that that looks.
And this is, once this is set, like styles like this, like a rod set, I could get 5 days easily out of the style.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because if I wear it up on my first day because it's not as big as I wanted to be and I didn't want to fluff it too much to, so my first day I wear it up. My second day, it starts to like, my third day is my best day. Like, so it's out, it's big, it's perfect. Third day is like, oh my God, I think I'm a beauty queen with my hair, you know? Day 3, nothing stopping me.
I love
then
that.
On my fourth day, I'm probably putting 1 or 2 more rods back in because to refresh 1 or 2. So I go to sleep with 1 or 2 rods because maybe 1 or 2 kind of like, you know, look a little crazy.
Yeah.
And then my 5th day, I may wear it up, may wear it down. Sometimes I can still wear it down because once the few that I did refresh, it's just back to being beautiful all over again. And
now, then if you were doing so say you were doing like a whole set of of perm rods, right? How long do you think it takes you to put a whole set of rods in? So, you know, like on average, like would you say it takes you like an hour or like less than an hour?
If it depends on the person.
Okay.
You know, it depends on how comfortable they are with styling. Or some people have 2 left hands. I get it. You know,
yeah.
That's why I want to show different techniques and what works for you, because when doing this, you want to make sure it's a twisting technique that you want to make sure that you're doing is you smoothing those ends and then you wrapping the top, the piece behind the end hair over the ends so it won't like rattle up, you know.
Right.
Use end papers. I can use end papers on her, but you can use end papers. I personally do not even use end papers on myself because it doesn't snag my hair. But if you feel like you want to protect your hair, you know, you can. Okay. With that being said, all of these styles are, in my opinion, also protective styles because you're not using heat. You're not using really no tension. It's your hair is going to still grow, and then you infusing moisture in your hair. You're putting a nice product cream. You put in like good products in your hair at the same time as well.
Yeah.
So I unravel this again. I go in, and you see the difference in the length. So from the braid out, you see how long her hair is in here. So that's why I say the shrinkage here is more. However, it is things that I do. It's called the banding technique that I would do to my hair. And what it does is it stretches the root out and keep your ends still curly. And it stretches the hair to elongate it. And it doesn't even disturb the curl. Like the curl, once you bring it down, it's set. And we're setting curly hair. So it's not going to like disturb it, you know?
Yeah.
Of course, if you take a shower, you need to put a shower cap on because if you don't, it's going to revert back. But
that's a great tip.
Yeah.
Put your shower cap on.
Put your shower cap on.
Steve is not your friend still.
So this is our coil.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, you know, coiling, I feel like is a technique that does take a little finesse when you kind of learn how to do it, but it's very effective for sure.
Oops. And I forgot my go-to.
It is so good. I mean, honestly, it's so light, so
yeah,
you can use a decent amount.
It's really, like you see, I put it on every section and it did not limp it. It did not lose no interrogation of the definition, the movement in the hair. So let's see. Let me start from the bottom, work our way up. So with the coils, the same way, of course, I wrapped it is the same I want to release it. Now the coils take a little longer to take out than the rod set.
Okay.
So a lot of times when I wear my hair coil, people always ask me like, how long did it take you to do it? Because I have all these like teeny weeny curls around my whole head. And I'm just like, I basically put maybe a total of 20 coils in my whole entire head. I do them in that many big sections. And then from the base section, maybe one section of the 20 is going to turn into 20 little ones.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
makes sense.
And when I'm unwinding, I make sure, this is so important with coils. You want to make sure that you're going down and in the direction that you coiled it.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is you know, I used to actually get my hair coiled like
Nice.
all the time. That was how I used to wear my hair, but I loved it because you know, it would just really define the curls and just change the texture. So if you're I always say if you don't have that hair that always looks nice naturally with no manipulation, it's a great way to really define the curl and make it look a little more uniform and pretty.
Okay. I mean, this is gorgeous.
Yeah. And honestly, what I love about that too is I feel like, you know, shrinkage there, you know, you kind of don't sometimes get as much, which is nice.
Exactly. It's almost like stretching your hair out because even when you're doing it, that's exactly what you're doing to your hair.
Now, when you coil, how long does it take you to let's say coil a head? Like for you, if you're doing 20 sections across the whole head, do you say it takes would you say it takes 45 minutes to an hour or
a good 30 to 45 minutes?
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, it really depends on how the density. My hair looks thick, but it's really not. It breaks down like, you know, and when you put it in together in a ponytail, it's tiny. It's not, you know, when it's styled, it just looks very voluptuous, and that's what I love about it. It's like, God, I could look like I have a lot of hair and not be like, but somebody like my sister, I feel like I'm 1/4 of her hair density, you know? Yeah. So for somebody like her drying time is going to be more. Like I could dry overnight. For somebody who has more thicker, coarser hair, you know, her drying time, you know, I have to start, like if I know I have to go to work in the morning, I will have, and my show time is at 9 o'clock. I need to leave my house at 7. I will have to start my hair probably no later than 8 p.m.
Gotcha.
So to dry all the way through and through.
Gotcha.
You know, somebody with thicker hair, like, you know, they may, and this is without me sitting underneath a hood, like
a dryer or anything like that.
Somebody with thicker hair, they may have to sit underneath a hood dryer to even, you know, get that type of result.
That makes sense.
Okay.
It's amazing how tight like some of the looks look, and then once you break them apart, how you know, like how big they look and how full they get.
Yeah, this these different techniques, like I said, curl manipulation is a savior. Yeah. Because not only is it going to last a long time, and I get why being natural or doing your natural hair can be like intimidating, because it's a wash day is like
it's all day.
When I first became like natural and started growing my hair out, I was in my 20s. So this is, you know, it took me all day, but the more you do it, you'll be surprised how your time is cut into half. Like, or you find techniques that will last. When I used to do twist out, I had to do my twist out like every other day, I feel like, you know? It wasn't lasting for like a week. But then I get to styles like coils that would last a week, or a rod set that would last a week. I mean, for a braid out, I could get like 3 days. But a twist out, for Bantu knots, I could get, you know, 4 days or something like that as well. So, you know, it just depends on it depends on how comfortable you are with your hair, and the more you wear it out. A lot of times, what things that what I protective styles are important. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But people take a protective style to another level, and then that's all they're wearing. It's like I never see the hair though. You know, like wear your hair, let it breathe, let your scalp have oxygen. Like stop the tension from the braids all the time. Stop the weaving all the time. It's a protective style. It's supposed to be a short-term styling aid, not something that you wear throughout the whole
consistency.
And then so 1 year turn into 5 years just like that, because you feel like I don't have time, this is easier. But the more you start doing, you know, styles like this, you know, it will become easier.
For sure.
You get accustomed to it and you find a way, or you go to your stylist and let them do it. This is your weekly, you know, wash when you go to your stylist to do. So it's very important.
Well, and it's amazing to look at the two different, the front two pieces, so you can see the difference in texture. It actually is really neat to see.
Yes, and even this definition.
Yes, that's so. Yes, I love that. It's so pretty.
Yeah,
it almost looks like it could have been a straw set or something like that.
Exactly.
You know, like the way it looks. Yeah.
So
what about the
final Bantu knots?
Okay, cool.
And just gonna release. I put little pins to when I wrapped it around, just little hairpins, just to secure it so it wouldn't unravel. Now this style, if I was to do this style on my head, this is a very easy, quick style.
Yeah.
Like, and this probably takes me like 20 minutes to do.
Well, it's so funny. I love a good Bantu knot. You know, people, think about the Spice Girls, or like Scary Spice. You know, she used to rock the two on the front. You know what I mean? It's like you can do so many different things with it, you know, and to think about something that's, you know, that could be trendy like that, because Bantu knots people are just wearing them, you know, and have been wearing them forever, but you know that like 90s influence comes back right now. So I think that you'll see a lot more of that happening, but you know, it's something simple like that can just create texture in the hair. It's so crazy. Yep.
And it's really, so Bantu knots to me also takes a little longer to dry. So something like this but the curl definition that you get from Bantu knot is amazing as well.
And I feel like even the volume from the Bantu knot is nice too. Like I feel like it sits up a little bit higher, which is nice.
And then you want to just individually go on each section around in the same direction of how you wrap it.
Yeah, I love that. So you guys, if you just jumped on, or you're just looking to see what's going on, hi, how are you? We're back again. It's Wednesday. We got Kailie on. She's giving everybody some natural tips and tricks that they can utilize on themselves, or even implement them on your clients. I mean, you know, what's so crazy now is, you know, we have people that are coming in, you know, they're all different ethnicities, all different hair types, and you want to be able to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. And so, you know, being able to take away some technique to be able to set some hair that's in its natural state, or in its natural curl pattern, is a good tool to just have in your back pocket, just in case you are working with a client who, you know, who may need that. You know, I know in Kailie's situation too, she is in entertainment and television. And so it's very important in a lot of cases that she's very versatile when it comes to her styling, because you get people who have all different hair types. So, you know, this is really, really great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you just never know what kind of opportunity may present itself. So you just want to be prepared. And never just feeling like I don't know how, you know. You just want to always be prepared. So we have our different little techniques here. So I'm just going to do one section of each one of how it's done real quick.
Gotcha. Yep,
And
you
then
got it.
if time permits, I have another mannequin where I could show a protective styling technique. But just if, I don't know how much more time
Let's
we
see.
have.
We've got, oh, okay, so we've got 15 minutes. Look, so
Okay.
this is crazy. You guys, time goes by so quick when we're doing these things. We don't even realize, like, what's
Yes.
happening. So sometimes we, like, for me, I get caught up in it because I'm, like, staring and watching what's happening. I'm like,
Right.
ooh, I know how I'm going to implement this. So you guys, so she's going to go ahead and just run through some things so you guys will be able to see. So this was what she started with, and you can, and that's water, correct? Just
Yes,
to
this is
re-wet.
water. She already had the product in her hair that I used, the Wave Enhancing Mousse #4 and the Wave Defining Cream #1. So she already has it in her hair. And then this is, you know, for you to kind of see how her hair was prior. So when if this dries naturally, it's going to be more of a frizzy hair type texture.
Mm-hmm.
So once her hair is wet, I'm just going to do, just for show purposes, I add the Wave Defining Cream and the mousse.
You guys, and the mousse is so nice as well. You know, a lot of times I think people get concerned whether or not it, you know, something like that'll be drying. It's not drying at all. It's going to be a lot of hydration, so the hair is going to feel really, really, really good. And it's going to give you a little bit of hold that's flexible without it feeling crunchy or stiff.
Okay, and so I just go in. It depends on how, if you want to wear a bang, you could go toward the face, you could go away from the face. Just depends on how you like your curls to be worn. And then just continue to twist down to the end. Once I reach the end, I twist it around one of my fingers, my pointer finger,
Mm-hmm.
just so it could kind of like get that bounce.
Cool. Easy. One down.
One down.
It's
For
actually, you know, these are quick, you know?
Yeah, yes, it really is. So for my braid, to get this type of definition, just want to wet her down. She already had the curl mousse in, and I showed you how I cocktail that in.
Yep.
Anytime I put it in, I make sure I comb the hair down from the end. You could do that. You could use a brush if you want to like brush it down to the end. And then once you do that, you just want to plait the hair.
So yeah, so she's doing, so first she did a 2-strand twist on the front, so 2-strand braid, rope braid, whatever you want to call that. And then she's doing like a standard 3-strand braid as well, all the way down to almost the ends. And it's, you know, it gives you this cool wavy texture, which I love. Look how quick she's braiding that. I'm like, fingers move turbo speed.
Okay. So, and a lot of times too, you see how the ends are kind of like straightish on the braid. This is also, you know, to make it uniform when you release it. This is why I like to put like a little roller on the tip, like so.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for my rod, cocktail my 2 curl defining agents, #4 and #1, the mousse.
Yep.
Let her down. Smooth her out.
You know, and what's really cool about this, I will say this too, you know, when we're talking about all these different methods, you know, these are all things that all salon professionals have at their house. or at their salon. You know, you have those there available at your salon. You have a perm rod. You have all these things. So it's not like, you know, you have to go and buy a whole new arsenal of tools to be able to do these techniques. You have it all at your disposal, which is nice. And then for those who are doing these things at home, you know, you can find them at your local beauty supply or even Amazon these days.
So once you start, and this time I did use an in paper because that will assure you that, you know, your ends are not going to be, you know, compromised by unraveling because your hair is curly. And you want to make sure you use tension. So you want to pull your hair, not hard, but you want to use some tension to straighten out your hair as much as possible. And then when you wrap, and then you flip. You flip it around like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when I get to the root, I kind of like to flip it around again because what that does is give me a nice tight fill in my root. Okay?
That makes sense.
So, but if you are like a 4, I mean, if you're in the 4 level, let me just do one more of these. What I like to even do on my hair when I do my roller sets is I like to twist the base, like so.
Mm-hmm.
Leave this part straight.
Yep.
And then I will go in. Because now when I take it out, I don't have like my kinkier hair texture at my root and then the curl, you know, just kind of like with that.
That's smart.
So that's another little technique. So before we move to the coil, I'll do the Bantu knot since we got the back of her head. I don't think I would have time to do a fun styling.
Well, you've got, so right now you've got 7 minutes.
No, I'm not going to have time.
So we'll have to have you back on. So
I know, because I have such
guys,
a fun styling to do. But I did want to hit the basics, you know?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I had like an Insta inspired styling for like a summer look. So
okay,
hopefully, you know.
Well, maybe we'll have to do another one so that we'll do a part 2. If you guys want to see a part 2, put it in the comments so that we can schedule it, because we'll totally do that so you guys can see the look.
So with the Bantu knot, you want to just twist at the base, twist around. It's almost like you're doing a finger coil.
Yep.
And then once you feel like it's getting kind of tight, you don't want to make it too tight because it's going to tighten up as you go. You're going to wrap this around, and then from the bottom of the base, you're going to wrap the hair around, and you're almost going to stand up the top, like stand it up high.
Yeah.
By wrapping at the base of the head.
People are saying part 2, please.
Oh, that makes me smile. Okay, and like I said, with this one, I did use a hairpin just to secure it, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And our final section is our coils.
All right. So you guys, this is the one where I feel like you should pay close attention. Coiling is, there's a little bit of, I feel that there's a bit of a technique to it to really get the coils to be really, really nice and consistent. So this one is a good one to watch.
She's all wet. So smooth her out nicely. You always want to make sure you smooth that product from roots to tip and detangle her properly. You know, detangle your hair properly or your client hair. Yep. So when you hit the base, you want to kind of lock the comb in the whole entire head.
Yep.
And just wind it, wind it, wind it. And as you're winding it, you slowly moving the comb down, slowly moving the comb down. You want to keep control over what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. See you guys. It's tricky.
I could do another one with the coil because
Yeah.
but and even if you so a finger coil too.
Yeah.
Like I said, the lower you are on like the number fours, I mean the number threes are the best finger coils in my opinion. When it comes to coiling, like if you two, you really can't really produce a perfect finger coil. But basically a finger coil is just winding it around your hand.
Yep.
Like so.
Cool. So you guys, we're coming up on our time. I can't believe it. It's so crazy.
I know. God, it's happening so fast.
I know.
It's so much
crazy.
fun.
Oh my God. So Kailie, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. You know that I appreciate it.
So rich.
Oh gosh. I freaking adore you. You know it. Tell the people where they can find you. What's your handle? So if people want to like touch base with you.
So I'm on Instagram and also Venerosa Beauty. Also, I'm on that's my website. If you wanna, that's VENIROSA Beauty. So
very cool.
The combination between my grandmother, and so I love that name.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been great. To everyone who's joined in, we appreciate you. We're thinking of you. We're hoping that everybody's able to get back to work soon. In the meantime, stay safe. We appreciate you, and we will see you soon. Remember, we're here on Thursdays and Fridays. I'm sorry, Wednesdays and Fridays. I apologize, you guys. Don't hold me to that. So Wednesdays and Fridays, we are here, and we're trying to bring education. So if there's anything else that you guys ever want to see, please feel free to leave them in the comments, shoot us a DM, whatever you want, so that we know we are so excited to be able to do this. So thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Kailie, thank you. I absolutely love you. All right, talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.
All right, bye, everyone. Stay safe.